Listen to the 48 Hours podcast for shocking murder cases and compelling real-life dramas from one of television's most watched true crime shows. Go behind the scenes of each episode with award-winning CBS News correspondents and producers in Postmortem, a weekly deep dive. Listen to 48 Hours wherever you get your podcasts.
Hi, this is Haley, the face of Waco Girl Does. You're listening to Know Waco.
Thank you guys for tuning in for another episode of Know Waco. This episode, I have a very exciting guest. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
David Roten, and I'm the owner of SoCal Speed Shop. We just opened up here on 6th Street.
Yeah, and are you a Waco native, or what brought you to Waco?
I am not a Waco native, but I've been here for about 12 years.
Mm-hmm.
And, I met a girl who lived here.
Ooh.
Here we are.
Yeah, so how long have you been living in Waco now?
Since 2009.
Since 2009, so you've seen a lot of development in the Waco area.
It's 100% different, yes.
Yeah, and you just opened up your own shop, so tell me more about that. What do you guys do?
Well, we do a couple different things. We're a speed shop. We have hot rod parts, and
Ooh.
we build race cars and hot rods and of such. But we also have a lot of merchandise, men's and women's apparel.
Mm-hmm.
We're located right next to the silos, so we get a lot of folks who are coming to visit, get to come and check us out as well.
Yeah, so why a hot rod shop?
Well, they have an interesting line of apparel, and we've partnered up with another company named Moon Eyes,
That's pretty.
and then also Clay Smith, and we have their merchandise in there as well. And they're also speed shops that build hot rod parts, but in the hot rod world, the T-shirts help to fund the dream, and we have a unique opportunity to do that where we are. And we also have a lot of room where we can have car shows. We've had quite a few here since we've been open.
Oh, really?
And there's just the location is perfect. There's a ton to do.
Yeah. So why Waco?
Because it's where I live. It's
Okay.
what I love. So
Okay.
why not bring the two together, right?
Yeah. How long have you been in the hot rod world for?
Most of my life. I grew up in Detroit. And that's kind of what we do up there.
Yeah. So were you into racing, more like show cars? Tell me a little bit more. I don't know anything about the hot rod world.
There's,
So
there's many different parts to it. I've been most involved with drag racing
ooh.
for most of my life. But getting into the SoCal culture is a little bit different. Those cars are like Model A's, Model T's, pre-war cars is what they're called. And it's a little different, super neat.
So it's pre 1944, right? Or 1945.
Yep.
Okay.
You're right on
I know
there.
a little bit.
yeah, there you go. So those cars are a lot of show, and some of them do go, but for the most part, they're mostly pretty. But also land speed. That's how SoCal started, is out in the salt flats out west.
Oh, wow.
Building land speed cars. And I'm actually headed there this weekend. El Mirage
That's going to be so fun.
is hosting a land speed car, and we're taking the SoCal car out there
That's cool.
and gonna run it and see
So what is the SoCal culture?
SoCal culture is definitely a culture of its own. It's super awesome because the lineage. There's generations of families that have been involved in all of the hot rodding. So that in itself is pretty neat because there's granddad, dad, grandkids, kids. I mean, it's a tight knit group, but they really drive the heck out of these cars, and they have a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah.
It's a little different than the drag racing thing, so
Yeah.
it's neat to see that side of things.
And what is the community like here in Waco?
It is a lot more than I thought.
Really?
Like I said, I haven't really been involved in all that much, but now that I am, there is a tremendous amount of guys here who have some absolutely beautiful hot rods, some
Really?
award-winning.
I have seen them. We do a lot of car shows here, so it's very interesting.
Yes.
And there's an older crowd here in Waco, so
Yeah, well, those cars, that's its clientele. There's a lot of.
Yeah. So why do you think we needed something like this here in Waco?
Well, Because I wanted it here.
Oh, well, that's a good excuse.
Is how it started.
Yeah.
It was actually my wife's idea.
Oh,
we
shout out wifey.
yeah, we were in Las Vegas at the SEMA show. It's an aftermarket car show, and we walked into one of the SoCal stores that was there. And my wife had mentioned, you should do this. You should open one. So I made some calls, and here we are.
Yeah. So how long have you been in preparation for this?
Man, we made the deal pretty quick in like a month, maybe.
Oh, wow. I was going to say, I thought it was pretty fast. And then I just saw flyers pop up everywhere.
Yeah, well, we were in Vegas the end of October, beginning of November, and I contacted them, and by the first of the year, we had a deal, and I rented our place, and I was painting.
Yeah. And I know you guys are right over by Magnolia, so why did you guys choose that area in particular?
Well, like I said, the T-shirts fund the dream, and that culture carries that fashion. Those shirts, some of the shirts that we have been around since the 50s.
Oh, wow, really?
So you'll get guys that came in, and there's not a lot of stores that you can just walk into that are SoCal. So they'll come in and go, man, I've had the same shirt for 20 years, I need a new one.
Yeah.
And they'll get the exact same one.
Mine's a little moth-eaten, if you will.
So that was kind of the thinking there and there's just a ton of traffic, and it's an awesome area downtown.
Yeah.
I think a lot of our community overlooks it, but there's a lot to do. We also have e-bikes at our place that we're renting.
That's
Monday motorbikes. Pretty cool. Had a huge following on that. But we're open every day. And, and the bikes are there, and we got hot rod parts, and it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and what is something you're looking forward to most about 2022 and opening your new shop?
Man, I'm looking to what I want to do with SoCal is be able to have a place where all the guys with cars and like to hang out can come and hang out and bring their family. And we got a ton of room. I got a big tent out there. We're going to play some movies in the evenings, maybe have some cruise-ins. I'm kind of chatting with some of the car clubs around town and seeing what we can kind of put together. But after this month, we have a swap meet that we're going to put on the 21st. It's the Saturday, I think it's the 23rd of May. And after that, I'm going to come up with a schedule of some kind of outdoor events.
Wow, that's going to be so
cool.
cool.
Kind of just hang out. It's nice to have a place where you can drive your car and see it while you're hanging out.
Yeah.
And like-minded people,
Yeah. And what do you think really set you guys apart from anyone else that's done this?
Well, what we have opened there on 6th Street is a unique speed shop because the ability to have kind of a social setting. And so I really hope, that's what I want to do, is try to have just a nice place where everybody can come and hang out and enjoy downtown Waco.
Yeah. And what is one of your missions, or what is your value behind your business?
My value behind my business is I've been playing with cars for a long time. And there's a lot of people out there who try to help, and they can't always. And sometimes they don't say they can't help. They start giving advice that maybe isn't so good. I got a couple partners, and they are super knowledgeable about a lot of different things. We know, each one of us know a little bit about a lot.
Yeah.
So usually we can figure out and give people a good plan to enjoy the car, not just buy parts and spend money on it.
Yeah. And what's some of your favorite cars? I don't know anything about it, so tell me some of your favorites. I mean, I'm sure people listening might know.
Well, yeah. If anybody knows me, they know what I like, and it's mostly Chrysler products. But these 32, 34 Fords, Model A's, they're pretty neat. You can do a lot with them, and they're kind of growing on me pretty quick.
Yeah. And so you completely refurbished them? Have you done one yourself? Completely rebuilt it or made it all fancy, or?
Yes.
Wow.
I've went top to bottom on a couple cars.
How many cars do you think you've worked on in your life?
I don't know.
You lost count?
Yeah. Yeah. It's at least every day, one, if not more.
Is this your, would you call this a passion project for you?
It's definitely a passion project. We own another business in town. It's a restaurant equipment company. And I have a lot of fun with that and enjoy it. But this is, it's something where I think they say if you do what you love and you never have to work, you still got to work.
I was going to say, I don't know if I agree to that 100%.
It's neat. It's neat to be doing something totally different than I've ever done.
Yeah. And what is something else you would like to see in our community?
Well, now that I'm downtown, a lot less construction.
Well,
in
yeah.
the middle of the road.
That's standard.
But it too shall pass.
Yeah.
But more of a downtown area. I mean, we're heading that way. I think we just everybody's gotta work hard and stay pointed in the right direction. There's tough days just because it's a growing community. And we have the construction guys will cut a hole right in the middle of your store, right in the front of your store. And, you know.
You got to deal with it.
Yeah.
Especially over by Magnolia.
Yeah, just say a prayer and move forward, right?
Listen, we got the construction right here in Washington for the new hotel. So we're feeling it exactly the same here at the studio as you guys are probably feeling it right next to them.
It's all right.
Yeah. And I know you guys do the e-bike rentals and other things. Are you interested in maybe helping expand pedestrian space and making sure it's a little safer downtown for, traveling and pedestrians and making sure that we can get around easily?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's how I get my business at the store there is foot traffic.
Yeah.
So I myself have been making sure that if just got to pick up sometimes these barricades and they move stuff around. So just try to rearrange and make it so it can be a little bit easier for everybody to walk around. But I think until the construction's over, it's going to be hard to navigate that. Yeah.
And what is one of the ways that you would like to see downtown Waco improve?
Like I said, just a real cohesive downtown where we can draw a decent crowd there on a regular basis, so folks like me can make a living and enjoy what they do down there.
Yeah, and you guys are having a lot of fun, and I know you already mentioned some of the events that you have coming up, but do you want to tell us more about some of the events you have planned?
Like I said, we're still trying to figure out what's going to work the best, and everybody else has other things that they're doing, so it's hard to not do something when somebody else is, but I'm working with the community and going to try to figure something out where we can work together. Maybe, there's a couple bars and restaurants near us there. So see if we can't share the wealth kind of one weekend when somebody gets it and, it comes around.
Yeah. Well, on that note, we're going to pause for a second and take a commercial break, and then we'll be right back. And we're back. I hope you guys listened to some great commercials, or maybe some annoying commercials, or maybe fast forwarded through the commercials. It doesn't matter. Whatever you choose to do, you do. But yeah, so we just left off with you talking about community. So I know you are a downtown business owner and you have your hands in multiple businesses. So what is it like being an entrepreneur in the Waco community?
It's great. There's a tremendous amount of opportunity here in Waco. Just like anything else, you got to get up early and work late.
Yeah. And so what are some of the other businesses that you have?
We own Syntex used restaurant equipment. It's right 2215 Franklin. It's right at 23rd and Franklin across the street from Richard's Supply. We sell restaurant equipment. We install it. We install exhaust hoods in most of the new restaurants that are going up. We sell refrigeration, and we also my wife owns a service company, restaurant equipment service company, Resco. And she goes and she's got guys and they go on site and fix restaurant equipment.
That's so cool. Yeah, so that really has probably helped you get a well-rounded view of downtown, and especially kind of being on the inside track of helping these restaurants open and getting to meet other business owners. Do you want to shout out some people that have maybe helped you out on your journey, or some people that have really inspired you?
Man, there's a lot of people here in town who've helped me out. Definitely my wife.
Shout out wife again.
Alliance Bank.
Mm-hmm.
They helped us out a ton with our building on Franklin, and then also with SoCal Tanner. He's been a huge help.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a ton of people.
I mean,
here.
that's true.
It's these,
you don't want to not shout out somebody and then they get mad and be like, why didn't you shout me out on the podcast?
Yeah, that's a hard one. There's so many. My partner, Garrett, Garrett Steffen, he's been a huge help, and he's taught me a ton. We met a couple years ago, and we hit it off pretty good. And he's been like my wife. I'm the crazy guy. I go for it, and point me to a direction, and I'll go. Sometimes a little too fast, a little too hard, but
it's because you like racing cars. Too fast,
like
too hard.
You're just trying to get to the next step.
There you go. Gotta get to the finish line. Am I right?
They've been a huge help. And Ted at Alan Samuels.
Mm-hmm. My parents love Alan Samuels, so mom and dad, if you're listening to this.
I worked there for a long time, and he was a great boss.
Yeah.
And a good mentor.
Wow, that's fantastic. And so it sounds like you've had a long legacy in downtown Waco, and especially being involved in the car industry. And I know you are also trying to support other small businesses. So I know in your shop you have a few other people. Is there anyone you want to shout out that's in your business that you want to maybe help support?
Yeah, for sure. BSR Waco Surf.
Mm-hmm.
That changed hands about a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
And the guys who bought it, they're a great group of guys. They really
it was
took
just
a place.
Opening weekend last weekend.
Yes. And we did a bunch of work out there.
And they did the 5K.
Yes. We got it all done just in time. But they're a great group of guys. They've taken a place that had a tremendous amount of potential.
Yeah.
And that may have been getting looked over the previous go around, and they've taken it to another level. They got some guys coming out here. Yeah. Super famous. Waco's really, I don't think a lot of people realize how many great attractions that we have here, and people that visit. I talk to, hundreds of people a week that are visitors in our city, and everybody loves it a lot. Yeah. Too much. They're all moving here.
That's good. I mean, good and bad. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I run Cultivate 712. I love having tourists come in all the time. We go escape rooms right next door. We go Axco down the street. There's just so much for people to do. And we are creating such a tight-knit group of businesses. Yes. That's fantastic. And now tell us where we can find you. Give us all your information, all your social media.
Well, our SoCal Speed Shop is located at 6th and Jackson, 321 South 6th Street. It's right in the same building that the candy store's in. Mm-hmm. And Centex Restaurant Equipment and Resco is located, big old green building. You can't miss it, right on the corner of 23rd and Franklin. Mm-hmm. And even for the house stuff at Centex, we got a bunch of stuff that you can use in your outside backyard.
Wow.
And there's a lot to see there. It's a 10,000 square foot building full of kitchen stuff.
That's cool. Yeah. And is there anything else you would like to share with our listeners today?
No, I really appreciate your time and you asking me to be here.
Yeah, of course. I'm really excited. And you're doing so much for our community and creating this very niche space that we haven't had before. And so it's interesting seeing the community come together, especially in downtown Waco.
Yes, it is.
Well, thank you so much for coming on today. I really appreciate your time.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you.
This has been Haley. I'm signing off. Tune in every Friday for all of the events and activities.
Now that you know Waco, just go. Go, Waco.
This has been a Rogue Media podcast.